Welcome to A1 Storyteller, where gripping stories come to life. Today we bring you an unforgettable tale of power, prejudice, and ultimate justice. Stay tuned because this one will leave you speechless. Judge Malcolm Carter was a man of quiet dignity, a towering figure in the legal system. After decades of upholding justice, he had earned a reputation as one of the most respected judges in the state. However, outside the courtroom, he preferred a simple, unassuming life. One fateful evening, dressed in casual clothes, Malcolm decided to take a stroll through the suburban neighborhood he had called home for years. The fresh air helped clear his mind before a high-profile police brutality case that was set to begin the next morning. As he walked past a local convenience store, he noticed a commotion up ahead. Two police officers were harassing a young black man, pressing him against the wall. The boy, no older than 17, looked terrified. Malcolm's instincts kicked in. He had seen this scenario play out countless times, young black men being targeted for no apparent reason. "Hey, what's going on here?" Malcolm asked as he stepped closer. Officer Rick Daniels, a man infamous for his aggressive policing style, turned and sneered. To him, Malcolm was just another old black man sticking his nose where it didn't belong. "Back off, old man. This ain't your business," Daniels snapped. Malcolm Carter wasn't just any old man, and this was very much his business. The young man, trembling, tried to explain. "I was just walking home, sir. I didn't do anything." Daniels chuckled darkly. "Yeah? Then why do you look nervous? Got something to hide?" His partner, Officer Brent Wallace, shifted uncomfortably. Unlike Daniels, Wallace wasn't as aggressive, but he had learned not to question his senior officer. Malcolm could see the terror in the boy's eyes. He had seen this too many times. Cops escalating situations instead of diffusing them. "Officer, if the young man is not under arrest, then he's free to go," Malcolm said firmly. Daniel's eyes darkened. "Who the hell do you think you are?" Malcolm took a deep breath. He knew exactly what would happen next. Daniels was the type of cop who thrived on dominance, and he wasn't about to let a black man, especially one he assumed was just some civilian, tell him what to do. "You got some nerve talking to me like that," Daniels growled, reaching for his taser. Wallace hesitated. "Rick, maybe we should—" "Shut up," Daniels barked, his eyes locked on Malcolm. "This punk wants to act tough. Let's see how tough he really is." And with that, he pulled the trigger. The taser's electric prong shot forward, making direct contact with Malcolm's chest. Pain seared through his body as he collapsed to the ground, his muscles seizing from the shock. Daniels smirked, towering over him. "Bet you won't be running your mouth now, huh?" Wallace stared in horror. "Daniels, what if he's someone important?" Daniels laughed. "Important, please. He's just another nobody who thought he could challenge me." But then something unexpected happened. A black SUV screeched to a stop nearby. The doors flung open, and several well-dressed men and women stepped out. Their expressions were a mixture of shock and fury. "Judge Carter!" one of them exclaimed, rushing to his side. Daniel's smirk vanished. "Judge? What? What are you talking about?" A woman in a sharp suit turned to Daniels, her voice ice-cold. "You just tased Malcolm Carter, one of the most powerful judges in this state. And tomorrow you'll be standing in his courtroom." Daniels' face drained of all color. Word spread fast. The media swarmed the police station, demanding answers. Daniels was suspended immediately, while Wallace was placed under review for failing to intervene. The next morning, the courtroom was packed. Judge Malcolm Carter, still sore from the taser incident, sat behind the bench, his expression unreadable. Officer Rick Daniels, now a defendant, stood before him. "You have been accused of excessive force, racial profiling, and abuse of power," Malcolm stated. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" Daniels, for the first time in his career, was silent. Malcolm leaned forward. "For too long, officers like you have believed that your badge gives you the right to terrorize those you swore to protect. Today, that ends." The ruling was swift. Daniels was found guilty. He was stripped of his badge, sentenced to jail, and became a national disgrace. Wallace, while not as aggressive, was also held accountable. He was given a choice: resign or face trial. He chose to walk away from the force forever. The courtroom decision sent shockwaves across the nation. News outlets covered the case extensively, with some praising Judge Carter's swift action while others criticized the ruling, claiming it set a dangerous precedent for law enforcement. Meanwhile, Daniels found himself the subject of online scrutiny. Videos of his past abuses surfaced, painting a damning picture of a man who had long hidden behind his badge. His once loyal supporters quickly distanced themselves. For Malcolm, however, the fight wasn't over. He knew that justice had been served in this case, but he was aware that there were still officers out there abusing their power. His next step was to push for new policies to prevent another Daniels from slipping through the cracks. Justice was served, but this is just one story in a much larger fight. Corruption still exists and abuse of power continues, but as long as there are people like Judge Malcolm Carter, the fight for justice will never stop. If you want more gripping stories like this, make sure to subscribe to A1 Storyteller and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that needs to be told. Stay aware, stay informed, and remember, justice always catches up.